Chaos erupted at a U.S.-based Hyundai factory when ICE agents carried out a massive raid, detaining hundreds of South Korean nationals employed at the plant.
I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE, but it goes beyond just someone working illegally. Let me explain to you. These people are working for slave wages. Some are not getting paid. Some are being trafficked. They send money home to their country. They give money to their handler. They have hardly anything left. They live in homes 5 families deep, have no quality of life. It's modern day slavery. So if you think that ICE is just going in and ripping people out of their jobs, these hardworking people that want a better life, well, guess what? Politicians have really screwed these people, because when they came here, they thought they were, hey, the border's open, we're coming in, we're going to get the 5-star treatment, and we can go to the big Walmart, and we can live in a 5-star hotel, and that's just not how it is. It's very bad conditions, very inhumane, and the Biden administration started a humanitarian crisis. So y'all can't just look at it like they're ripping good people off the job. They're probably saving their lives in the long run.
It just triggered me so bad that woman got on this internet and said, yep, it was me that called ICE on 450 illegals, not knowing that they are specially trained to work in that facility in Georgia. And you can't even pronounce the company name correctly. I want to know, how much energy does it take to be that evil, that unkind, that mean-spirited, or to be hateful or jealous of somebody's skin color? Ooh. And then she doubled down and said, well, people who don't agree with me are immigrants and illegals, or some other shit she said. I blocked her. Because I don't have the energy or the capacity, because I'm so tired of it. And I'm trying to understand, but in 2025, I no longer care to understand why you are racist. I don't. And you gonna meet the day that you deserve for what you did, because that is so unkind, and it was so uneducated as to what you did. But I digress. Korea responded. I've already seen the reports. Korea came and got their people, because they say, you will not be doing my people any other kind of way, okay? You will not be mistreating them. You will not be sending them to no detention center in handcuffs or anything else. So that woman, she's going to get the day she deserves, and Lord help her. Lord help her.
Greetings, family, and welcome back to my channel. So a white lady made a report to ICE, which triggered ICE raid on Hyundai EV battery plant in Georgia, detaining nearly 475 immigrant workers, most of them being South Korean nationals. So this plant was not just a symbol of America's shift towards green energy, but also a lifeline for thousands of jobs in the state of Georgia. So this has sparked a lot of debate, outrage across America, many calling it as racist, destructive, and a major blow to the U.S. economy. Let's have a closer look.
She didn't just call ICE on workers. She called ICE on 85,000 Georgia jobs and basically told South Korea, we cannot be trusted. And now she's running for Congress. The Hyundai LG battery plant wasn't just another factory. It was part of a historical investment. Billions of dollars promised to American job market by South Korea. Think about it. At a time when North Korea is flexing missiles and playing war games, South Korea took a leap of faith, choosing to invest in America, creating clean energy jobs, and partnering with us on future technology. That's not just business. That's diplomatic. That's an alliance. Now here's where it gets messy. The workers in Hyundai were brought in. They were here legally, with work authorizations, all above board. The company did nothing wrong. But when a political stunt like this happens, calling ICE on legal workers, it doesn't just create chaos in Georgia. It makes us look like we cannot keep our word. South Korea said, we'll bring jobs, money, and innovation to America. And this ICE stunt basically set us back. We'll repay you with harassment and betrayal. That's how you lose trust from global partners. That's how you make allies think twice before ever investing here again. So let's be crystal clear. This wasn't patriotism. This was sabotage. She didn't just jeopardize Georgia jobs. She jeopardized America's credibility. And if she's willing to sell out our allies and our economy for a headline, imagine what she'd do in Congress.
South Korea said, hey, you're not doing that. We're going to charter a plane to bring our people home and make sure that they are safe. You're not about to sit here and play in our face and disappear our people like you're disappearing American citizens. Now, according to the New York Times, 475 people were detained during that raid at the Hyundai plant. 300 of them were South Korean citizens who were here on work visas to work and construct an expanded portion of the plant that supplies batteries and along with LG that's in that plant. Now, South Korea has said, okay, well, if you've got our people detained and you're going to keep them detained, we're not going to wait for you to charter a plane and send them to us. We are going to charter our own plane. We're going to come pick up our people and we're taking them back to South Korea. And that is the safest thing that they can do. Because if we leave this in the hands of the Chunky Milk administration, those people could end up anywhere. We have no idea where they would send them. Now, there's still no word on what's going to happen with the construction of the plant and the expansion of the facilities. Right now, everything is on hold. And again, I do not blame South Korea on that because South Korea, they have their interests to protect and they have their people to protect. And I'm seeing true leadership with the foreign minister of South Korea because he stood on business. He said, either I'm going to come over there myself and come get my people, or I'm going to charter a plane and my people are coming home. Personally, I'm happy because at least we know that these people will be kept safe from the American government, because the American government, who knows what they're doing to them, but we do know the condition that these detention centers are in, where there's maggots in the food. It's dirty, it's unclean, the lights are on 24/7. The people who are being detained there have no space for themselves. They're fighting over water. So hopefully they can get them people out of there fast. And I'm going to keep you updated.
I really don't understand the ICE raid on the Hyundai power plant. It's so comically illogical that my first thought was somebody close to Trump from within his organization is trying to sabotage him by giving stupid instructions to ICE. Because one of the main reasons for tariffs is to encourage foreign companies to operate in US soil. And not for nothing, like that's a valid way to use tariff. All my liberal friends became like the most obnoxious version of someone who's taken Econ 101, like, oh, tariffs get passed straight to the consumer. No, sometimes companies like Hyundai decide to build a factory in the USA to get around the tariffs. I'm not bringing that up to say like the tariffs were like a win. I don't know what the net effect of that was. But Hyundai building a plant in the USA to hire US workers to produce batteries for them to sell, that is literally the textbook scenario of success with the tariff. Literally exactly what you want. And then he raids it with ICE and gets rid of the people. The Koreans were there to set up the factory, which is harder than working at the factory, right? Is setting it up for the first time, and then train US workers to do the job. I tend to give people credit. Like Trump winning the 2016 election, a lot of you are too young to remember this. Like in 2015, Fox News and the Republican Party did not like him. He had to beat the Republicans, and then he had to beat Hillary Clinton to become president for the first time. So I've never thought that he was dumb. I don't think he's a mastermind. Like, oh, 4D chess. Like, you know, like I've seen those memes, like his supporters. Like, I don't think that. But he's not dumb. But now I'm thinking that he might actually be. And everything else was like a crazy, happy, lucky accident. Like, that's very hard to believe. I think he was smart, and now his mind is starting to go. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what did he think was going to happen? Like, right or wrong, I can't even understand what his thought process was.
You arrested our South Koreans because they look suspicious? America, how bad is your job market? We sent those people over to help you create more jobs, and then you round them up like cattle? America, we gave you K-pop, and this is how you repay us? You guys are worse than an abusive ex. You're out here blowing up boats in Venezuela, arresting legal workers from other countries. America, why are you speed running your downfall? That dumb idiot lady who called those people because she saw Asians working in Georgia, she was like, oh, Asians in Georgia? This isn't San Francisco. They got to be illegal. How is someone that dumb allowed to stay in your country? Is that what you guys want? Just idiots in your country? You guys want these Chick-fil-A idiots running around your country? These, oh, my pleasure, bless your heart kind of idiots in your country. What are you doing, America? We're just trying to help you.
Look, if you don't look like Morgan Wallen, it's safe to assume you're probably illegal.
America is doing its own self-destruction. So many Americans are questioning, why target workers who are actually contributing to the economy, instead of harming it? These were not criminals on the streets, These were people helping to power America's clean energy future. And the fact that a single report can trigger such a massive raid, this is what that got people so upset. And reveals a deep ratio and xenophobic undertones still present in America. This is going also to scare away foreign investors, because why would any global company risk setting up factories in the US if their workers can be rounded up overnight? Remember, this wasn't just about immigration. This plant was generating $350 billion worth into the US economy, with over 8,000 jobs connected to this project.
This lady who called ICE on the Hyundai factory, I think, will be a very timely lesson for a lot of people. I don't know how long it's going to take them to realize it. They aren't exactly super bright or good at putting puzzle pieces together, but I think the internet as a whole has created this lack of object permanence and this lack of foresight in people, where they are very impulsive. People are very impulsive and they don't think about the consequences of their actions. And I think that's these people, they keep calling ICE on, they keep ruining people's lives. I could say so much about this lady. The fact that she's so stupid and racist that she called ICE because she thought the workers were Mexican. She didn't realize they were South Korean, because when she hears immigrant, she just conflates that with Mexican, and to her that automatically equals bad because she's a freak, weirdo, idiot racist. But also, this isn't an isolated incident, and it's not even just on the right. People will dox people will swap people have no concept of the consequences of their actions, and that there will be lasting implications. This woman and other people, this woman was not the only person who called ICE. She's just the only one stupid enough to come on the internet and claim that for herself. And is it even that stupid? I don't know, because I'm fairly confident she'll win her congressional run. She's running for Congress in the 12th district in Georgia, and I'm not confident she's gonna lose. But she's the only one who claimed it. I'm sure more people called, because these people are really hateful and bigoted. They've now caused an international conflict that will have international implications economically, especially here in the United States. The economic implications of this are going to be devastating, specifically to their areas.
This is in regards to the ICE raid that happened in Georgia at the Hyundai factory. How do you guys expect Americans to do their job creating these products that Hyundai created if the people who know how to create them are not there to teach them how to make these things? You cannot say that, oh, these were Americans' jobs anyways. There were going to be jobs for Americans. You don't understand that Koreans were here to teach Americans how to do the job, to create these products. Let's think a little bit.
That lady who called ICE on that Hyundai facility, along with the other locals who did as well, and now it's going to cause that entire plant probably to never be constructed and lose 8,500 jobs in a rural ass area. I don't think she cares. I don't think that they're going to be upset. I think there are people who would rather suffer and have their town or whatever remain in poverty and remain fucked up, as long as they don't have to have any help from immigrants or people of color in general. Because to accept help and to accept that immigrants are not dangerous ass people, that immigrants are necessary, that, diversity is a good thing, would completely destroy their worldview. I feel like a lot of y'all, when we talk about voters and we talk about Trump supporters and shit like that, we act like it just mysteriously came about. But I feel like, as someone who's lived in several southern states, I've lived in rural areas, I used to live on a fucking mountain in Virginia, for God's sakes, there are people who just are not in the same reality almost when you talk to them, who have these ideas that oh, affirmative action means black people go to college for free. They have this very us versus them thoughts, and a lot of their actions, and especially when it comes to voting, is motivated purely out of their own identity politics that Republicans do, but also out of their own feelings of inferiority and resentment. They don't want someone who they view as inferior to them simply because of their race to come and help them, because they think that they should already automatically be better because they're American. Because when people were explaining to this woman that actually the Korean visa workers were there because they were sent by Hyundai, which is a Korean company, to assemble the factory, to train people, train American people there how to fucking use it. She's like, there's no way that Americans are not qualified to know how to do that already. You live in a town that's rural, has had zero fucking investment in it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, are there some Americans who may know how to run the training or, facility already? Maybe, but it was going to bring 8,500 jobs. Like, there are people who think that simply because they are American, right now, that therefore they are just better, that they are smarter and no one can tell them shit. So if they have to suffer, they don't care. They don't care. They would rather remain in this thought process than accept things. And it's not new, because we compare, it's very much so the same as the whole fucking anti-integration people. They're moving very similar to segregationists. I don't know. But this lady, she's not going to say she was wrong. She did this for publicity, which is really fucking weird. Y'all are scary fucking people. Someone who would genuinely call ICE on someone over some shit like this, you are a scary person.
I've seen a lot of videos of people celebrating everything that's happened in Georgia with the Hyundai plan and thinking that now that the immigrants that came here to train us are no longer in those roles, that they're automatically going to get those jobs. And I'm just here this is why a lot of the world thinks that we're dumb, because our education system is failing. But in all seriousness, though, a lot of those workers that came over from South Korea were highly skilled workers and specialized workers that came to do a knowledge transfer, meaning that they were here to set up the plant and make sure everything was running smoothly. And a part of that setup was to train American workers, American engineers on their battery and their battery systems. And now that they're no longer able to do that, that knowledge transfer is not going to happen. And the reason why, in the first place, they had to bring workers with Hyundai was because we didn't have anybody specialized in that area. So now we're not only going to lose up on this opportunity for knowledge transfer, a lot of people are going to lose up on those job opportunities. And it just speaks to a larger conversation and a lot of rhetoric that I've been saying, where people are saying that immigrants are taking jobs. But the jobs that immigrants are taking, sometimes people don't want it. And sometimes the truth is you're just not educated enough and not trained enough to do that role. So just because now these highly skilled workers are not going to be there, you're still not qualified. And now we still have a gap in knowledge in our system for this role. So
to that bitch that called the ICE raid on the Hyundai building, I hope you have the day you deserve. Really just lets me know how stupid people in America can be. She seemed to be confused that they were all South Korean. You didn't do the research to know that that's a South Korean company? To know that they were over here to teach the Americans how to do the jobs? That they had received permission to come over to work on this construction site to then teach Americans how to do this job? That now the Americans cannot get because you've kicked 475 of their workers back to South Korea. So now they're stopping the project. So now 9,000 jobs are lost because of this dumbass racist bitch. I'm so sorry. America needs a reality check, quick. Because they think they're the biggest and the baddest. And unfortunately, babes, y'all are the dumbest and the fattest.
Racism is very expensive. And it is nothing but pure hate and jealousy. This situation goes beyond immigration. It's about America's reputation, its economic future, and how it treats people who come there to work and build. I was really thinking, was this really about enforcing the law, or was it about racism, fear, and targeting the vulnerable communities? So what's clear is that this incident like this don't just hurt immigrants. It hurts America itself, And that the administration doesn't know this. The White House doesn't know that they're doing more harm to the U.S. economy than ever, So the real question is, how can the U.S. balance security and humanity Or is it on the path of self-destruction? Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.